Good afternoon, we're live again, Senate Institutions, Wednesday afternoon. We're gonna spend some time with Commissioner Fitzko, Department of Forest Parks and Recreation, and Frank Spalding, Projects Manager, Department of Forest Parks and Recreation. And probably gonna spend more time on section 9 of our bill, but we might have some questions about section 10, but we realize you might not know, maybe you do, but we'll see what we get to today.
Okay, Danielle Fitzko for the record, Commissioner for Parks and Recreation.
Frank Spalding for the record, project manager for Vermont State Parks.
Well, welcome, thank you for coming.
Appreciate it.
So we thought we were coming in on technical correction language.
We can do that
Okay.
as well.
Okay,
Yeah, we might have some questions as far as, on some of the other stuff as well. So why don't we
We'll
let
just
you do
chat.
the presentation that you,
Let's
were
go
here
with
to, that you thought you were coming in on.
well, I'm just grateful to be here and to be able to have a conversation with you. So we can talk about whatever you all want to talk about. We'll start with the technical correction, if that's okay.
That's perfect.
This is in the capital budget adjustment language, and really for us, this is just cleaning up some language that's in the commissioner's duties. That's kind of 20+ years old and doesn't represent like current practices. There's really two elements to the corrections. One is it gives let me just look at it, the reminder. The first requirement is that anytime we're going for contracting over $200,000, we must consult with BGS. BGS does not oversee capital contracting anymore. It's now AOA. So it's kind of outdated language, and we certainly use BGS for a lot of their contracts, but it's something that was put in a long time ago, and just would like to see that cleaned up. The second one is a requirement that the Department of Environmental Conservation manages all of our engineering on our capital projects. They are amazing. We use them all the time. They're an excellent resource for us, but they don't necessarily have all the capacity that we need, or all the skill sets that we need. They are our first line that we go to, but to say that we'll always use them is kind of not the current practice that we can actually go with today. So there is some language in there. We'd like to clean it up just a little, but that's sort of the premise around it, and you have a little bit more background if you want to add anything additional, Frank.
Can I just ask, do you have a copy of the language?
It's in the bill.
Yeah, I don't think we have
We don't-
that, but we
oh,
could probably get
You
it.
have the governor's recommended, correct?
We have a spreadsheet,
Oh, okay, well, we can get this to you.
Yeah,
well, maybe we do, hang on.
it's almost like the
Is
last,
it in
it's
here?
almost the last article in the entire budget. Yeah, if you go to the end last one, I think that's it.
Okay. Well, I don't see,
I don't think so.
Okay, we can absolutely get this to you.
I went online to see if it was there, but I don't see it there either.
Right.
I'm gonna look for it while you're doing that.
Okay.
Okay, so is it 2 pages or 1 page?
This is just our internal notes on
Oh,
it. It's
okay.
really little. It's scratching out one paragraph and adding another, really.
Okay, and so it's consult with BGS when contracting for capital?
We have a
Was that-
section in the bill number that we need to be looking for.
Section XX.
Yeah, right here, right here,
You found it?
that's right there. I think it's,
So bill language is.
yeah, just go under, bill language, I think it's right there, XX, act related to capital consider construction and state bonding budget adjustment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The governor,
Somewhere of these corrections are.
What page? Oh, we don't have it.
yeah, it should be just on the first page of bill language. Just go to your tab, bill language.
Right, but I'm looking for changes in like language to AOA from BGS. Is that what
I
I'm
flipped
looking
through the
for?
document, do you mind if I drive that book for a second? Thanks.
Go for it.
I think it's probably on the third page by the looks of it,
Okay.
but we'll let them.
sorry we didn't come like with
That's okay.
that handful yet.
That's a lot of dollar signs.
There is.
Yeah, and I do.
We like those signs in this committee, Frank.
Okay, it's on page nothing. In your books, it's right before the last.
Okay, it's right before the last, okay.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Oh, the powers and duties.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so yeah, it's the very last thing.
It's in here.
So they saved the best for last.
Absolutely.
Alright, commissioner, so it's good to know what commissioner they're talking about.
Doesn't say that
Okay,
probably.
so it's you,
Yes.
okay.
So I'd just like to add, I mean, what we're really trying to do here is modernize our relationship with BGS and facilities engineering. And as Commissioner said, our relationship with facilities engineering is a critical relationship. And I want nothing that's said here today or in this language to downplay that importance of our relationship. We are the third largest owner of square footage in the state of Vermont, for
Yeah.
state government. We have 38 public water systems, 36 public water systems. We have 9 indirect discharge systems for wastewater. We have 3 spray disposal fields for wastewater, 40 miles of pipe, et cetera, et cetera. 11 registered dams, soon to be more under the new rules. Their services are absolutely critical to our operation day to day. And our hope is that this language reflects that detail, that critical connection with them. Without them, we don't have in-house resources for engineering. When something breaks in a state park in the middle of the summer and it's packed, they are the first people we call, and they are always there for us.
Right.
And their inherent knowledge of our systems is critical to our operation, and so we need them.
Yeah.
So I don't want anything said here or,
You spread out all over the state as well. I mean, you
Yeah.
never know what you're gonna be calling them into.
and we can't have engineers out in the regions because, that'd be inefficient as anything. And to contract for all that services, knowing where it would be needed at a certain time is just nearly impossible.
Yeah.
They show up on site, they know the system, quite often they design the system, and they can design fix immediately.
Yeah.
We have a growing list of operational permits that require professional engineering services for annual inspections and reports. That is a ongoing need that we have, and soon it will always grow, and it's the way the world is right now. And having them in-house is critical. They're housed in DEC, which is just a structural difference, but if they weren't, we'd need them in our place.
How many buildings do you have?
1,100 structures, which means it's the largest owner of count of structures in state government. Admittedly, a lot of them little, but all of them have a foundation, a wall, and a roof and a finish. So, but it's really their specialty really is health engineering, water, wastewater, that sort of thing. They are our go-to preference for design. They just get it, they know it. Great example is the 3-acre rule that just came in.
Yeah.
We have 19 properties that are in the 3-acre. We're one of the first entities, I think, in the state to get down and start doing designs.
Right.
And they being within DEC were critical link between us as the landowner, commissioners as the landowner, and the regulators. And we have been negotiating our way through the 3-acre rule daily.
Yeah.
And so that's been a large part of their work these last few years, and they were falling a little behind, but we're actually getting the work done already. So it's we could have done without. I'll say that a little bit.
I love that when Frank talks about parks, clearly he knows
Yeah.
all the facilities and what's going on.
Yeah.
On a busy weekend, it's like 40 to 50,000 people, like we're like the third biggest, well,
Third biggest municipality in the state.
yeah.
How
So
did
in
the
that
parks
house-
do as far as in visitation this year? I mean, we're past the COVID numbers now.
Yeah.
We're into real stuff.
We did great 2 years ago. We had our highest numbers, almost 1.2 million visitors. Last year, it was just, the weather
It
wasn't
rained.
great.
Yeah.
So just about 900,000, which really, at the end of the season, kicked up a lot when it got nice. We just did a parks modernization study, and one of the things is like, how do we really extend the season? But we'll get there.
That's a good idea.
And that's with two of our busiest day series being knocked out by the flood in July.
Right, Plant Plymouth.
Cape Plymouth did come back.
Yeah.
It will come back this spring. Waterbury Center was down for a couple of weeks,
Yeah.
and we had to reestablish turf in that location. So it
And
was,
Jamaica was out for a little bit. or-
Jamaica was actually was evacuated
Yeah.
for a week maybe, but the Camp Plymouth is like 30,000 visitors. That's a substantial portion of our
It's a big
job
number.
visitation. Yeah, people are really excited for that park to come back.
because you're not ready and I don't wanna, to do that, if you don't mind, we just jump around just for a second, just some questions.
Yeah.
From past bills. Are you guys still, looking to build the individual unit on underperforming campsites? You were building these cabins and, is that something that we're gonna be seeing or you
Yes.
guys are built out?
We're not built out. There's actually capital money already appropriated for that work.
In FY 24?
23 to 24.
Yeah, right.
23 funds is a small balance, left 24 funds, where we have designs ready to go and bidding ready to go for new Discovery State Park. We got admittedly derailed with the flood this year,
Okay,
in
yeah.
terms of that,
Fair
but,
enough.
but we have the plans ready and the designs ready. The biggest thing is wastewater permitting, not wastewater permitting, I'm sorry. We have to do electrical designs that bring power to them, and we have to pull archaeology on
Right.
all the trenching. That's done. That's done for New Discovery and for Carmine.
Yeah.
We don't have enough money to build both.
Right.
We got enough money to build one, so we're aiming for New Discovery. That's a park that can really, it's a beautiful park. It's in the dark sky part of the state. It's really epic place to have these cabins, and we're looking to have those contracted out pretty soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are definitely, we definitely have capacity for more.
Yeah.
Those cabins, yeah.
Yeah, well, I think, before, I think it was, a real bright spot, to take so what it was committee, because I have the benefit of being here a little bit longer than you, is that, the, Parks and Recreation were taking these underperforming tent sites and they're building primitive cabins and they were knocking them out of the park with them.
Cool.
Yeah, they were building them and they were just rented and they were in areas of the park that just, people weren't pitching tents to. And so they would go and they put these cabins in and they were just really, really cute. Actually, to be fair, you inspired me and I went and built my own cabin.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you can come in.
Oh,
Mine is a little bit over budget.
That's fine.
But I built a 15 by 15 cabin because of the ideas of what these guys had done, so.
Cool.
It's bringing more people in, you diversify the options, like, I know, I like to stay in the cabinet,
Well,
I'm not sitting on the ground as much anymore.
And the beauty of them is it gets people from both ends of the spectrum. It gets the experienced camper that's done sleeping on the ground, doesn't want to own an RV. It also is a great gateway for someone who might want to sleep in the parks but doesn't have a tent,
Right,
doesn't have a sleeping bag, but they have. Everyone's got pillows and blankets.
right,
And if you all, and sheets, you bring pillows, blankets and sheets and stuff to cook outside, you can stay in a cabin. And have access to public access to waterfront properties, some of the most beautiful properties, and stay at an affordable price, and it's a real entryway for a lot of folks into the visits.
We're also
That's
talking
great.
about like actually doing RV hookups
Yeah.
too, at some of our underperforming parks, as another opportunity to bring in additional visitors to those parks.
Good idea.
go ahead.
May I ask, how much these cost to build these cabins?
Oh, boy. So depending on the site, so I'll be bluntly honest, 'cause that's what you always get from me.
Yeah.
Is that they were a lot cheaper in the beginning because we picked the easy sites. We've smoked out the easy sites, so we're talking about running power. So I would say a good rough estimate is in the 50,000 range for a single unit. We spend that much per unit, we're still gonna make the money back to the state, to the taxpayers. We'll provide the service, make the money back, and actually enhance our operation.
Can you share a little bit too, we have a relationship with some of the tech centers?
So the governor, a few years back, really wanted us to work with the tech centers and put money in the budget to do that. COVID came, it was tough. We downsized, we downgraded that commitment a little bit from the last capital bill. Still slated some money into the cabins to do that. We are working with the technical center, construction area down in Rutland. And it's actually the forestry program, they actually mill the logs.
Oh,
We gave the logs, they mill the logs, and they're working on the cabin now in St. Catherine. That's a pilot program. It is a little difficult to work with the tech center because of the length of the school day.
Right.
And travel. We thought we could build these offsite and have them trucked in. It's not quite working out. But I will tell you this, is that it's gotten us thinking. And I know that the successful program in Region 4 with the Park Conservation Crew, working with VYCC, has shown us that we can work with groups to work on state park land. The type of project we pick has to align with their program need. And so like stick construction, standard wiring, standard finishes is really what they're training these individuals to do. even if it's not me, someone that comes after me will probably pick this up and make this a great program. So I think we're working on that, so.
First cabins didn't have electricity, was I correct with that?
Nope, they had
Oh,
electricity.
they do?
We had some cabins that didn't have electricity because they were built in remote areas, the Scutney. The ones on the side of the Scutney, if you want a world class view, wake up in the morning, look at the Scutney side of the Scutney is a great place. They don't have power because there's no service to there. We had to double up on our smoke and CO detectors, battery operated to make the fire marshal happy.
Yeah.
But we did. But generally they have very minimal power, small circuit, 20 amp circuit coming in, so you can plug in your coffee maker.
Yeah.
Folks travel with Keurig.
my
You know,
gosh.
so, yeah, I'll tell you, my friend.
Senator Harrison travels with donuts for their
I
service.
And I wouldn't recommend this because it'll probably pop the breaker, but we had folks show up with an air conditioner.
Yeah.
Wow.
But, you know, so,
I'm learning too, y'all.
Yeah, so there's always that, but it's minimal lighting,
Yeah.
minimal services, like you can plug in a coffee maker.
Charge your phone or something.
Charge your phone,
Okay,
it
that's
is, and it does power also fire protection, because it is a closed-in structure, so
Right.
there's fire detection and protection.
And how many months can that be? Is it a 6 month structure or what?
They match up the park season.
Yeah.
So
More
like,
than
we
fall.
try to put them in parks that are open longer, because they are a great shoulder season option.
Yeah.
But there, and I wish I'd pulled the numbers, but I mean.
It's fine, we were asking you questions and you weren't prepared for, it, so it's,
You know,
No,
you're
it's
taking a
great.
site
Take me down
you're
this
taking a site that's
path.
rented 20 to 30% of the time, because it's a poor underperforming site, to being rented 80% of the time.
Yeah.
Right.
For an increased rate, so
Right,
it helps the
right.
budget,
right.
and it helps provide access to people to the campgrounds, and it doesn't take away from the experience for other people.
Do we have any ADA accessible?
No, about half the radius.
Yeah.
That's why we should be building them all ADA,
Yeah.
but sometimes the terrain doesn't afford that, so at least aim for 50%.
And what's the rate, may I ask?
No, no,
It's
go ahead.
twice the lean-to rate, so whatever the lean-to is, it's times 2.
Okay, great.
So some of them are pretty underpriced.
Yeah.
Burton Island has them, Button Bay has them right on the lake. I think those might be priced up to $100 a piece. I don't think, it's all available online, so.
Yeah.
Where are y'all gonna be next Thursday, 3:30?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know where we're gonna
That's like a
be.
year away.
It's the Park Centennial Kickoff Celebration. This is the 100th year for
Oh,
Vermont
wow.
State Parks.
Oh, wow.
And in Cedar Creek
Oh,
Room,
nice.
we're gonna be having a
I
little
actually got the invite
celebration.
to that.
Yes, I
read
shared the
account.
invite. This committee
Yeah,
has been so
please.
supportive
Oh.
and invested, help,
Yeah.
you know, help us invest in Vermont State Park. So we'll be doing a little kickoff there. We have some storytelling. We'll have Vermont Parks Forever there. So 3:30 up in the Cedar Creek Room.
Okay.
If you can join us.
That's great.
Yeah.
No, you're doing really good stuff. I serve also on the Economic Development Committee, and there's a program, a workforce program, Serve, Learn.
That's what I speak, that's the kind of what I was
Great
touching on.
Yeah, so
The work we're
is that
doing.
helpful? I mean, do you?
Yeah, they're actually, the funding works through us.
Okay.
It's a fantastic workforce development program. They have 4 partners involved from Audubon, BYCC, Vermont Works Women in Resource.
Right,
And we have a direct relationship with them, with many of their projects are actually done on Vermont State, on state parks.
John
that's
Meadows,
wonderful, good.
And we have now actually enhanced that relationship where we're gonna actually have one staff person at BYCC that's gonna work directly with us as helping to oversee those projects. But we offer a great opportunity for them to get to places that they like and enjoy, and then the construction, and then there's trail maintenance.
Right.
And we provide the oversight of what projects and keep the quality control in check.
Yes.
Which I know is something that we, is important, and we wanna make sure that these are long-lasting investments. But it's fantastic relationship and really, really good program.
Good, and
There's a
it's
lot of
really
kids do
good,
it.
yeah, it's really good for the kids too, because
Yeah.
they have structure and they get stuff done and they're outdoors working with their hands and.
And they have
Develop
wraparound
skills.
services. They provide the emotional support if anything's needed, they provide, just a really robust wraparound services for these service oriented kids.
That's great.
And if I may, if you're not familiar with the Civilian Conservation Corps program in the 1930s, it really echoes that program.
Yeah.
And if you study that system at the time, the Labor Department provided the workers, just like our partners are providing workers now.
Yeah.
The Army housed the workers, just like the youth corps is taking care of them now. And then the state sponsors provided the technical oversight and quality control and design, just like we're doing now. So this is really modern iteration of the CCC.
Yeah.
Just in a different format. So I think it's something to really be proud of. I know I am.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been operating on one-time funds mostly, so they're
Well,
Honestly.
our committee recommends that funding
Yeah.
into the bill, but it would be nice if it were
I
reoccurring. So we'll have to have you testify in the other committee.
There's definitely value, and
Yeah.
they bring they leverage a lot of other funding.
Good, thank you.
Well, cool. Anything else? Committee, anything else?
No.
Is there anything here we need to know about?
We don't have any adjustments
Okay.
in the, but, would you have any further questions on this technical correction we made to send a little bit of updated language, that's okay?
Yeah, we're gonna probably, we're actually, to be fair with you guys and be fair with the committee, we've kind of shied away from the number, the language as far as that, we're gonna, deal with that a little bit later. We're still just going down through the numbers and getting very familiar with that and seeing where the changes are and all of that. So we might have some, questions for you maybe in a few weeks, but as of right now, we're just still counting down through the numbers. At some point in time, we'd like to hear, a little bit more in depth of, some of the dollars and cents that are going on with you guys. And, but I know you're not prepared for that today. So, we can work with Linda and get you back in and when it works for you guys, and we'll go down through.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you guys very much.
Thanks.
This thing? Yeah.